Hello, Battletech fans. Welcome back to another episode of Battletech Heavy Metal Mech Review. And today we take on the Marauder 3R. Now, again, I just want to remind everybody, everything that I've talked about in these reviews is always subject to change. This is not like a finalized version, and HBS can change certain things. So let's get into it. So the Marauder 3R. Its standard layout is 2 PPCs, 2 medium lasers, and a autocannon 5. So not a bad layout. Not a bad layout at all. And for a 75-ton mech, it's not bad at all. And we finally get our hands on it. And do note, you don't have to buy the Battletech Heavy Metal DLC to get this. This is going to come in the 1.8 patch. So if you just can't get the Heavy Metal DLC, you can still get the Marauder alongside the Warhammer without buying anything. So that's really cool. All right, so we're going to talk about its quirks and what HBS did. So its quirks are going to be, it's like a command module. And from my understanding, it basically gives your lance a 10% damage reduction overall. This is pretty good. This is insanely good. My only question would be, how good is it going to be? Is it going to stack? Is it going to, stack when you're in cover and bulwark and all that other stuff? So questions to be answered for sure. So let's just take the example of it just gives a 10% bonus. So I believe bulwark removes like 60% damage, right? So 60% damage is pretty good. Now we're going to have potentially a 70% damage reduction, just based on that kind of knowledge. I don't know if HBS is going to essentially reduce it or negate it when in cover, but maybe when out of cover, give that addition. So nothing has been clearly said. So that's my thing for that. Now, I'm thinking with that, what are you going to do, like 12 damage or 10 damage laser shots? It's going to be pretty significant damage reduction. So, yeah, I'm thinking along those lines of, I'm thinking at least 12 damage taken from a medium laser. I'm thinking somewhere around those lines. So yeah, that's pretty hectic. That's gonna be really good to have. So with that being said, is it gonna stack if we have multiple Marauders in our lance? Yikes! I don't know. I think HBS has a workaround with this, so I don't think it's going to stack. But if it does, well, we have a broken mech. So I'm thinking along those lines of this thing is going to break for sure. So yeah, it's definitely going to make this mech extremely good. So yeah, if it's not the case, which I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to stack. Either way, a 10% reduction to your entire lance is going to be so extremely late game worthy that you might have a Marauder in your assault lance. And that's going to be awesome. just to see, like, you got your other 3 assault mechs, and then you have your Marauder in there, just in the background, shooting mechs at range. Now, I don't know if it's going to be somewhat like ECM, where they have to be within a certain amount of tiles. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's how it's going to be, though. You have to be within its range, or a certain range of its influence. I feel like that's how it's going to essentially play out. But yeah. Now, there is also potential 2 variants with every mech that's coming out with the Heavy Metal DLC and with those Marauder and Warhammer. So nothing has been confirmed yet, but I'm hoping to potentially see, instead of the AC5, maybe like, the Marauder 3L potentially. That way we have like a large laser instead. I prefer the large laser. I mean, yes, it does, less damage, unless it's lost deck, but I prefer the accuracy over. I prefer hitting my opponent versus not hitting my opponent reliably. And I think if that is the case, and then you have your 3 assault mechs moving up, and then your Marauder kind of taking the rear of everything, I think that's how the Marauder's role is going to play out here. Just a back sniper, command mech. It's definitely going to be a mech to want to have, for sure. So we're going to talk about the medium to late game here. So obviously it's not an early game mech, I would think, but so during you start to get the heavies, I find this mech to be in the upper echelons of, a 9 out of 10. If I were to give it a rating, and then, probably 8.5 out of 10 going into the assault phases, due to its abilities, its damage reduction, and it's just going to be a mech that you're going to want in your lance at the end game. I feel like it's going to be one of the best mechs that's coming out of the Battletech Heavy Metal DLC 1.8 patch list. I feel like that's going to be the mech everyone would want to play, and everyone wants in their lance. 100%. 100%. Now, I do have a question for you. So I was watching the Twitch Heavy Metal release or preview, and it looked like, now I know there's a mod for this, it looked like the mechs were able to turn in the mech bay now. Now, I don't know if they installed the mod themselves and they just wanted to do that. I'm kind of curious if that's going to be in a 1.8 patch or part of the DLC. So let me know in the comments below if that's going to be the case or not. So yeah, I think that's what I would do with the Marauder. I would just, it's going to be a command mech, a large laser beast, I feel like. So yeah, let me know in the comments below that what you would do with the Marauder 3R, what you think of the possible options here for its quirk. Is it gonna be stacked? Do we, is it gonna stack or not? Or what's it gonna be like when it gets into cover and bulwark and all that other stuff? How is it all gonna play out? How is all that gonna play out? Because if you're thinking like 12 damage lasers or even less than that, this thing is going to be overpowered, for sure. And I've been saying that a lot lately about this DLC, how overpowered a lot of these mechs are going to be. But I honestly think that these mechs are just going to complement the game even more. But there's parts where I feel like it could break the game. So like the Archer and its ability to do increased stab damage with his SRMs, and now we have the Marauder here who's got a 10% damage reduction. So I mean, I don't know if things were explained better somewhere else of how these things are going to work, but yeah. So let me know in the comments below if you ever heard anything that about this 10% damage reduction, any more about it, and how it's going to work out with bulwark and cover and all that stuff. So yeah, that's going to be my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit the rating button. And let me know in the comments below what you would do with the Marauder 3R. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.